Hello everyone, this is your Steampunk 1993. This is our Steampunk 1993 Productions with another 3D Ultra Lionel Traintown video. Today we're going to be doing one of the train parks. This is the Oak Valley Train Park. As you can see here, I have my steam locomotive over in the right hand corner of my screen here. This is a 280 Consolidation. We've got a little freight consist. Now I want to talk about a little bit about how I plan my route. So right down here, you have a few tabs here. You have your info and options and map. For this free run, what I'm going to be doing is planning out switches and loads and deliveries. If anyone has ever done the tutorials portion of the Lionel Traintown series, right up here, if you notice your green icon, this tells you where loads need to be delivered. And then the red one tells you where the loads need to be dropped off. Now, there's several options you can do, you know, trying to find out if you have loads on your train. If you look at the bottom right hand of your screen, you have your toggle car icons. You can find out if you want car icons. Click it one time. You can have some. You can have all of them if you want, but just for the sake of knowing what's already on the train and memorizing what's already on there, you really don't need that much. So how I'm going to plan this route, we're just looking down at our map screen here. My method of running the trains here is basically going from point A to point B. So what I'm going to do is plan my switches as a dispatcher. I'm going to throw this switch, which will take us down. We pick up balls from the Golf Ball Corporation. We're then going to take the track up here to pick up the cattle and drop it off for shipping after completing the loop. Now theoretically you could go forward and then back up, but to treat it as a more regional freight operation similar to the Ohio Central, or maybe because the desert looks similar to the one on the Magma Arizona Railroad, I'm going to treat this as an operation where you try to make as few backups of the caboose as possible. So then I'm going to go down here, take the steel, then take this running track down south over down to this switch, where I'll eventually end up back where I started at, which is Smiling Bills. So this point, the conductor's or brakeman has given me permission to proceed forward. We give 2 blasts on the whistle, and we pull away. So here we go, folks. Lionel Traintown's in action. We'll make sure we go slow within the curve. These curves can be a little bit tight. As you know, there's 3 notches on this throttle setting. I wish it was geared to the authenticity of a full-size train, similar to Microsoft Train Simulator or Trains or Warren software, but I'm going to keep it right here on the low speed just to keep it as authentic as a small regional railroad like the Ohio Central. So our first stop is we're going to stop at the sports ball factory. Got a tight curve up here. Although the train's not going to go too fast with this curve on the game, I'm going to treat the curves respectfully myself. Give a couple toots on the whistle to let the factory owners know that we're pulling into the depot here. Stop here for a minute, load the car.
Try a gondola for this load.
I meant to pull into here. Here we go. Now we're going to continue forward. We get a green signal from our conductor and dispatcher. We're clear to proceed. We acknowledge that by saying copy that. Here we go. And we pull away. Got your coal tipple right here where we can fuel the steam locomotive, and then you got your water tank, which I'll demonstrate in a little bit. Got a diamond here. And then coming up here is the where you can load the cattle. Cattle needs to be loaded and eventually shipped to market. 3 car, and 4 cars, 3 cars, 2 car, 1 car, and that will do. And the cattle will be loaded for shipment to market and places onward. Get an okay from the conductor and dispatch, and it's highball time.
A new load is available. You have a new delivery.
We're next going to pull about 4 or 5 car lanes into the entrance of this iron foundry here, where we're going to pick up some furnished steel from the steel mill. We're then going to take it down to Smilin' Bob's, where some of the steel will be sent off to construction sites, companies, businesses, and even entrepreneur businesses. Stop the train about here. We load our iron, and we'll be ready to take off. It's highball time. Then set our switches so we can go down to this track here. I'm going to keep on the slow speed, and that's where we're going to be located at. Once our train is through here, I'll reset the switches so that way they can be set for any other trains on this track. Currently there are no trains lined up for this track at this point, but it's best to treat it as if you were switching out on a regional railroad with a mainline Class 1 railroad. We're now entering Smilin' Bills at this point, so I'll give a couple toots on the whistle and inform that we're approaching. Got a replica of the Pyramid of Giza on your left. And we have our final shipment in for Smilin' Bills. And of course, as you know, this is a free park, so no matter how many loads and deliveries you drop off, you're going to get a few more from time to time. And then once you're through playing, all you have to do is press exit.
A new load is available. You have a new delivery.
So now I've decided I'm going to go on another loop this time. I set my switches. We're going to pick up some iron ore here. And for this one, since the distance is pretty short, I'm going to do a quick backup movement. So that way I can be able to pick up the iron ore, stop here, pick up more iron ore, and then continue my route and planning my map for my next delivery outlet. Get a highball from our conductor and dispatcher, and we are clear to go. Baldwin 280 Consolidation. You got a Santa Fe boxcar. I have no idea which railroad the gondola and the covered hopper and tank car have on them. Got a little bit of a Union Pacific logo, the Burlington Northern logo, and then some sort of logo on the caboose at the back end. 4 cars. 3, 2, 1. Half a car. And that will do. Now I'll be clear to pull up to the loading dock here at the, whatever this is called. It's the Metals R Us steel mill. We're going to be dropping off iron ore. 3 cars, 2 cars, 1 car, and that will do.
A new load is available. You have a new delivery.
This time I'm going to back up for about 4 cars to load the bolts in. I'm going to back up here to reload my hopper, my open-topped hopper with a with more iron ore for the steel mill. And actually this time I'm going to reset my switches so I can still get up here, but also to replenish the locomotive. At this point my water level's pretty good, my coal load's doing well. I could theoretically take this train, load the iron ore, and then back down over here to drop off the goods. But I figured just for the sake of time, just go up, loop around a few times, and then just take it from there. So I'm going to back up for 4 cars. That's 3 blasts on the whistle. There's a trick you can do it while blowing the train whistle button right here. And we'll be good to go with dispatch and conductor's discretion. And stop here, gonna load the screws in. Then we'll get a contact from our conductor. We're estimated for about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. About 12 cars east. I'm theoretically using the right-hand side of my screen as east and the left-hand screen as west. So I'll just take it from there. Conductor on the back end is ready to go. We get 3 blasts on the whistle and we're good to go. Push back towards the iron ore service. Once we do that, we'll back up for a few more cars and then throw the switch to take up this map up to the water facility. Once we backed our car lanes, we'll stop here, load the car. Then we'll back down for about 5 car lengths east. And then we'll pull forward to take up the main track to the water tank, coal tipple, and then heading on out from there. So theoretically, this game that you can play, it can be a mix between being a locomotive engineer, a fireman, a brakeman, and also with the flags that you post when you do the tutorials of signals, you can even be dispatcher, yardmaster, switchman, or even head conductor or president of your company. So let's pull up here. We're going to load the locomotive up with coal. I'll pull the engine up for about 1.5 cars to load the water, replenish the engine with water. And I pull it exactly up to the point to make it look authentic, as if the water boom was lowering into the lid of the tender here. Next, I'm going to take the train up. Actually keep this switch thrown because I'm going to need it to pick up the burgers, and I'm going to take this track south. Pulling forward, then I'm going to stop and then back into Smilin' Bill's from there. So I'm going to pull forward for about, let's see how many cars on my train I have, about 3, 6, 9. I'm going to pull up, get 10 car lanes clear the switch, and then I'm going to back down to the steel mill. Get a high ball and permission from our conductor, and we'll take it from there. Nice and easy through the curves. So the way this train layout set up on this game almost resembles a small regional railroad like the Magma Arizona Railroad, Ohio Central Railroad, or even a plain Western short line railroad at its finest. 2 car lengths, caboose, slowing down, that will do. We can imagine some automated switches or even some spring-loaded switches to get our loads and deliveries done quickly. We get our backup from our engineer, the go signal from our head conductor, and then we back down to the steel mill. 5 cars, 4 cars. Now we have a 3rd car length, 2 cars, 1 car, about half car, and this will be our stopping point. We'll see if we get some steel from here.
A new load is available. You have a new delivery.
Looks like we've got an oil delivery that's required from the TC company. It needs to be dropped off here, used to power the plant here. So let's see how many car lanes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car lanes. We'll need about 8 to 9 to 10 car lanes to pick up the oil. We get our highball from our conductor and brakeman, and we'll be clear to go from there. I'll blow my whistle, let people know that I got close clearance as I'm pulling in to get my oil delivered. Theoretically, you could have a truck just drive over for a few feet, but in busy cases like this, sometimes it's good to have a train as extra backup when you need it. Let's see, so now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 9 car lengths to get our load in, and then maybe an extra 2 car lengths to load the burgers onto the train. So we'll stop. Yep, my estimation was about correct. We got 2 more car lanes to get our refrigerator car in. First, drop off the oil. Then we'll pull 2 car lanes up.
A new load is available. You have a new delivery.
Actually, this time I'm going to stop, load the car up, and then I'm going to back for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, about maybe 10, 11 car lengths west with the caboose. And while I do that, I'll get my switches figured out. Gonna go up the line here, throw the switch so we can go up to the factory right here where the balls are to be sorted and placed. And then I'm gonna take the train and back it down from there and start at this point. So back for nearly about 11 car lengths. I'm going to stop here, load the train, put the reverser in forward position, and following the map, go down here, drop off the oil at the ball container factory, and then drop off my goods here at Smilin' Bill's. Once we get our highball and permission from dispatch and conductor, we'll proceed from there. This is the same location where I was filming the train a little bit earlier, this time going eastbound. I'm going to stop right up here. I don't know why they programmed the computer game this way, but it always appears that the person walking in front of me is always walking on the track, so I've had to stop the train. You know, it appears that the train's going alongside the person, but I don't know how they created it, but it's kind of weird though, but hopefully we won't run into any obstacles like this again. Alright, so after a series of some unnecessary interruptions, we're now pulling the train into the sports ball factory. We're going to drop off the oil for some of the refinery tools and machinery here used to power the ball factory. See how many car lanes I need. I need about four cars in there. Got 3 cars, 2 cars, 1 car, about a half. And this will do. Now, the funny thing is, too, when you enter a curve, your throttle icon will move to the right whenever it's going to enter once the train starts pointing to the right of the screen.
A new load is available. You have a new delivery.
Yep, I'm going to take the train down to the Smilin' Bills video where I'll stop my video for the day. And hopefully when I go by the iron ore facility, that person won't be walking on the track again. It's, hey, no trespassing on railroad property. Oh, great. Look at that. Really? Come on. Well, sometimes you can always get track walkers once in a while. Beats me every time. Well, anyways, we're pulling into the station here at the Smilin' Bills. This is the freight house where we're going to drop off our goods for the day and where I'm going to stop my video for now. And first pull the boxcar up to about here. Then I need to pull about I need to pull at least 3 car lengths east to get the
Load is available.
yep.
You have a new delivery.
And then this will be my final delivery for the day. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you please like and subscribe to Steampunk 1993 Productions. Steampunk 1993 signing out. Tower 93 out.